Hi everyone, this is Tracee Randall and I am the CMO, that stands for Chief Motivational Officer for Experience Connections. And I am excited about these live videos that we've been doing from our Insider Tips book collaborative. It's called, Insider Tips, 100 Innovative Ways to Increase Profit. And I'm excited about it because we've been sharing some great tips about follow-up, about how to network properly, how to build a direct sales company, and social media tips, branding, and a whole lot more. And we're going to continue to do some of these tips throughout the course of the year. We just think it's so important that we do our due diligence in empowering the women that are part of Experience Connections to do better, to be better, to stand out from the crowd. So as people are joining me, I understand now that it takes a minute or two for people to start seeing the video. I see someone's joined me. Go ahead and just maybe type in your name and where you live, so that we can get an idea of how to better connect and how to better collaborate with you. So make sure you put your name and your city and state that you live, so we'll see where people from around the country are that are part of this group. Today's tip I'm really excited about. It's because of today's tip that truly we've been able to hit some really huge goals in the direct sales industry, but not just the direct sales industry, in any business that my husband and I and my business partner Carol Neal and I have ever done. And one of the things I actually want to share with you before I get started with the tip, as hopefully others will join me. And again, if you're just joining us, I want you to go ahead and put in the comments, especially if you're an Experience Connections leader. If you're an XC leader, put in the comments, XC leader, and the city that you're a leader, your location, and your name. Of course, that'll be there, but go ahead and put that so that the people that watch this video later will be able to see where you are and connect with you. If you're not an XC leader, then go ahead and just type in the comments your name and what city you live in, so that we'll know better how to refer you and collaborate with you. So we're all about connections here at Experience Connections. That's what we're about. But we've been doing, Carol Neal and I have been doing some live videos, training videos, as I said, from our book, Insider Tips. And I was thinking, well, I want to make sure that everyone knows where to find these training videos. They are awesome. What you want to do is you want to go to Experience Connections, the Facebook group, and over to the left of your screen, it should say videos. If you click there, you'll see me and Carol's faces with some times. It'll tell you how long the video it is, so you'll know how long you'll need to prepare. But you'll always want to have a pen and paper, because these notes are vital. And one of the reasons that Carol and I actually were asked by Bonnie Ross Parker to take on Experience Connections as the CEO for Carol Neal and the CMO for me is because we know what we're doing. We're successful business women. We've created some incredible companies and businesses along the way, and we've seen success in the direct sales industry as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get to my tip. I see I have a few people watching me, but nobody's writing in the comments. So you need to be teachable and coachable and teachable. Follow directions. Do it. I was a 7th grade language arts teacher. I expect directions to be followed. So let's talk about follow-up. Well, if you're part of the direct sales industry, or even if you're a small business owner, we all know that each month you set goals, sales goals for yourself. Now, in the direct sales industry, they make it really simple. They give you incentives. They give you goals, rankings to reach, and the higher your rank, which usually equates to the higher your volume in sales, the more money you make. So the last couple of days of the month, which is where we are, no matter what business you're in, the last couple of days of the month are really important. Now, what we also know is that in the direct sales industry, most of the volume takes place the last week of the month, because what we're doing is following up with those people that we met at the first and second week of the month. So the last 2 days is where most of the volume hits. Well, The other day, I actually was helping a team member with this exact issue. How do I follow up with someone and not feel like I'm being pushy? And I wanted to talk about follow-up because why do we hate it so much? Why do we avoid doing follow-up that we know is important? I'll give you some sales statistics real quick just to validate what I'm saying. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. They meet them, the prospect is interested, and they never do any type of follow-up. That's almost half of the people. 25 of salespeople make a second contact and stay connected. So only 25% even make a second connection. 12% of salespeople only have 3 contacts with the prospect and stop. Most people never follow up. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts with a prospect. Now, probably one of the reasons is because you feel like you're being pushy, and you don't want to feel like a pushy salesperson. But listen to these statistics. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. It's usually an emotional sale, and so only 2%. I'm going to skip down because 10% of sales are made on the 4th contact. 10% of your sales, the 4th time someone sees you. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. Now, listen, if we're not following up, how can we possibly expect to make some sales? I will tell you what's happening. You're sowing seeds into someone else's business. What's happening is you are telling someone about your product or your company. They're getting excited about it. They want to learn more, but in our busy world, they're, saying, okay, well, follow up with me, and you don't. And it becomes no longer top of mind for them, and you feel like it should be top of mind for them. So life gets in the way. They never reach back out to you. You never reach back out to them. Guess what happens? Someone else comes along a month, 2 months later, and they say, wow, I've got this incredible product. You've got to hear about it. It's called blah, blah, ABC company. And the person goes, oh my gosh, about 3 months ago, I met a woman who told me about that. I was excited. She never followed up. And now I'm ready to buy. I want to know more. And that person follows up with your original prospect. And she deserves to, because if you don't do your due diligence, if you don't follow up, then you lose the right to that prospect. You really do. It is your responsibility to follow up. So let's talk about feeling pushy as a salesperson. So here's what I did with my team member who said, I don't want to feel like I'm being pushy. I said, it's because of your thought process about follow-up that's making it difficult for you to do it. First of all, when we think of salespeople, we think of the traditional stereotype, the used car salesman or that pushy salesperson that you walk into a retail store maybe and the person's all over you and you really just don't want them there until you're ready for them to be there. And you don't want to be that person. But what I want you to do, and this is good stuff, you should be, why is nobody commenting? Oh, I do see, oh, there are comments. Hello, why am I not seeing them? Oh, well, I won't worry about it. I'll look at the comments later. That's so weird because normally I see them. All right, I feel better about you guys now. Anyway, oh, darn it. I lost my train of thought. It was so good too. Reframing. So this is what I told her. I said, I need you to think differently about how you perceive a salesperson is, okay? And here's how I want you to do that. So let's just say, for example, that your product is a nutritional product. And you meet someone who's in a lot of pain and they share that with you, and you pique their interest by saying, wow, I've got some really great testimonies of people who have gotten great results with that specific pain with our product. I'd love to share more information with you about it. And they go, great, would love that. Send me some information. Well, then you forget, you don't follow up because you don't want to feel pushy, and you think, well, surely if she's in enough pain, she'll contact me, but that's not how the way it works, ladies. So then the next thing is you're thinking, well, I'm just not going to do it. What I want you to do is reframe your brain and reframe the way you're thinking about follow-up. And here's what I mean. When you're thinking about follow-up, don't think about trying to make a sale or reach a goal, because desperate people that are trying to make a sale or reach a goal do come across as hungry, pushy, and actually selfish in some ways. And we know that we're all in business to make money. So your perception is important. Other people's perception of you is important. So what I want you to do is start thinking about follow-up this way. We have seen some miraculous things happen for people with this product. The poor prospect that I met, she's in a lot of pain, and she deserves to hear about what we have. She deserves to hear about what we have. Now I'm talking about nutrition right now. That's my expertise, but I'm going to link it with jewelry just so that you get a different perspective. Think about the woman that's in pain. Would she want you to follow up with her? Did she tell you that she did? Yes. So your follow-up thought process needs to be, if I don't share this information with her right now, if I don't follow up with her right now, she could remain in pain. And no one would ever tell her about this. And because you have belief in your product and belief in your abilities as a person that's going to follow up, you know you can help that person. So you follow up. And you know, you follow up with that in mind, with that mindset of, this is helping my client, my prospect. This is helping this person, and it's my responsibility. I took on this business because I wanted to help people. Now it's up to me to make sure they get all the information they need to make a decision. And so you follow up with, I like to follow up the first time with a voicemail. You know why? Because the energy and excitement in your voice is so powerful. Or connecting with them on Facebook is another great way to do some follow-up. Make sure that when you initially speak with a prospect that you've just meeting for the first time and they're in business, you ask them, are you in business? Do you do business on Facebook? I'd love to connect with you there. And you also want to show yourself as valuable to that prospect. It's not just about you making the sale. It's about you giving them valuable information. So unless someone has specifically said, yes, I want information about your product because I'm in pain, maybe they just want to learn more, then you're going to follow up giving them some valuable information that makes you valuable in their eyes. And you're going to make sure that you stay top of mind. This is why follow-up is so important. I'm going to share with you an incredible testimony of follow-up in just a moment. But let's talk about, say, someone in jewelry, the jewelry business, because that's not, you know, when you think about it, it's not like someone's in pain. Do they really need jewelry? And I know you jewelry women out there are probably rolling over going, yes, they need jewelry. Well, let me share with you a way to reframe your thinking, because, so let's say that you are have an awesome jewelry line, and it's a direct sales company. What you want to do is, let's say that you meet someone and you always want to fill the need of someone. You've got to get to know someone and build that relationship first. And so let's say that you meet me out and about, and you learn that I'm a speaker, that I work, you know, I get in front of audiences. Well, one of the things that you might want to say is, hey, I'd love to you to send me a photo of the outfit that you're going to be wearing at your next event when you're speaking, and let me see if I have some great jewelry to accessorize with you, because you know how important your brand is and how important that is. And I personally, as a speaker, and I feel like I'm speaking for all speakers, would go, wow, what a great idea. And that's a little bit outside the box. It's different. Maybe you know someone is the mother of the bride. Look, I'd love for you to send a photo of your outfit that you're wearing, and I'd love to see if I have something that might just be the perfect thing for you. Now, what happens if she doesn't send you that photo, which she probably won't? Why? Because we get busy. When we meet, we have good intentions, but we get busy. So the next thing you want to do is send a little private message, maybe of a piece of jewelry that looks beautiful on a mother of a bride, and say, hey, just following up with you, what color is your dress that you plan on wearing? I'd love to help accessorize you. I promise you, the mother of the bride is going to be so grateful that she doesn't have to go out and find that perfect piece of jewelry. And you know we all want a new piece when we're doing something special. So these are just some ideas of how you can think the process through. don't feel like you're being pushy. Now, there are times that I've run across people that are so pushy that I don't even want to buy from them. It's all about them reaching their goals, not about helping me. So it is important that you are strategic in how you do your follow-up. It's important that you follow up, but be strategic. So, another way that I follow up is, a quick voicemail or a text saying, hey, and send a picture on the text, private message on Facebook. If you post something that you think might be relevant for them on your timeline, then don't tag them on the main post, tag them on one of the comments. And here's why. If you tag them on the main post, depending on how their settings are set up, then it actually goes to their timeline, and they may not like that. But if you do your post and then comment on this is just a bonus tip, tag them on the comment below that, then it doesn't go to their timeline. It just gives them a notification. I'll be honest with you, as busy as we are, I only have time to look at notifications. I very rarely scroll through the timeline. Occasionally I will and capture something, but most of the time it's if I personally get tagged and or if I'm in a group that I'm active in. So that's absolutely a bonus. Now, I'm going to quickly end with this story. So I was in a direct sales company that I started in 2007. It was a nutritional product, and I'll just go ahead and show the name of it. I don't think, well, it doesn't matter. I was in a nutritional company, and I felt very confident about that product. I still do. In fact, I still take it on a regular basis. So that's how much I loved it. And I met Carol Neal at a Curves. That Curves is a place where women go and work out, and I would go in the mid-afternoon when it was very slow in there, and she would bring her beautiful mom there, and we met and we began to talk and network. Now, I was not a networker at the time, but I had been a year or almost 2 years in my direct sales company, and I was good at building teams, and I was great at follow-up. So we're walking around the circuit, and she shares about her business, I share about mine a little bit, and start sharing some testimonies. And I can't remember how it all panned out exactly, but I got her email address. And what I did is I began to follow up with Carol. Now, we didn't have Facebook back then, 2008, 2009. I wasn't active on Facebook, and definitely wasn't doing my business there. So email was the best way. We even didn't text a whole lot back then. So what I did is I started emailing her. Now, I didn't email her once a week. It was probably about every other week, every 10 days. Remember, there wasn't as much follow-up back then on social media, so it was the only way to follow up, really, except for phone calls. And I started sharing testimonies. And in the subject, I would put, wow, read this testimony about such and such, back pain, for example. And I would share a couple of testimonies, and then I would just say, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. If you know someone who might be dealing with some of those issues, I would love it if you would share this information with them. And I just did what I call a drip campaign. Well, I met her, I don't know, probably in the fall of that year, and I would send it to the same thing to all of my potential prospects, and even my current customers, because I wanted to stay top of mind. And so after she never responded back, and I could have easily quit and thought she wasn't interested. But what happened is I suddenly hit a hot button for her. And on the subject, I put something that got her attention, and she opened it. Now, later I found out that she was opening a lot of my emails. She just wasn't interested, and she wasn't responding back. She didn't open all of them, so guess what? If I'd stopped at 3, Carol Neal and I would never be business partners today. It's unlikely. And so I sent that probably, I want to say, Carol, it was at least 8 to 10 emails, if not more, because I was very consistent about it. And I didn't let it discourage me when nobody responded or whatever. And one day she responded back to the email, I'd like to meet with you to learn more about this particular, how this works. And we set up an appointment, sat down. She partnered, not only did she buy product from me, she partnered with me in the business. Within 2 months, I had hit the top level in that company. It was largely due to her being a part of my team. She came with me to the conference. We've never looked back. Within 5 months, she was top in the nation in the company. So you can imagine how important that initial relationship was. And now today, we're business partners in Experience Connections, Atlanta Business Spotlight. We have other projects that are going on. We did the book collaborative, Insider Tips. That follow-up has been amazing, not just for me, but for Carol. So when you're following up, just remember what value you can give to someone else. And you never know where that prospect is going to lead you, like it did for me with Carol. And there are many other people that both Carol and I could talk about. One more last thing, be outside of the box. Don't be normal. Be different. In the competitive world that we live in today, you have to be different. Darn it, I wanted this to be 15 minutes. It's 21 minutes later, and I'm still talking. Obviously, I have so much information to give, but I hope this has been powerful. Now, don't hang up. Don't click off, because one more thing. Send me an email, Tracee@TraceeRandall.com, and on the subject, put follow-up tips. And I will email you the tip from today. Well, one of the follow-up tips from Insider Tips book for free, all for free, just to help you. So make sure you do that, and then tag someone on the comments and tell them to do the same thing. Email me so I can send you this great tip and more. Now, if you have emailed me the last few days and you have not received your tip, please don't panic or worry. I am here today, the rest of the night. You will get your insider tip that I promised you tonight before I go to bed. So this has been Tracee Randall, the CMO of Experience Connections. Reframe your follow-up. It's foolproof, and let's get this done. Remember, women make it happen. Bye, everybody.